Hey, what's up everybody? This is a quick skin and case overview, my top picks personally, and this might help you decide which skins or cases to buy for your Nexus 6 if you are in limbo. Anyway, as you can see, on the bottom are actual cases, and on the top is the skin from dbrand. I am personally rocking the black carbon fiber, however there are multiple options for both the back and front as well as the essence. You can get those in multiple color options or cutout options. It's really unlimited almost, and you can get those from dbrand.com. On the bottom, I have purchased all of my cases from Amazon, but you can purchase them from the select manufacturer or brand company websites. This is the Spigen Neo Hypbrid. This is the CruzerLite for the Nexus 6, and this is the Ringke Slim for the Nexus 6. And all of these are available on Amazon Prime right now with free shipping. This, however, is just dbrand.com only, but you can choose which skin or design or color you want from their actual customization that you can use in real time on their website. It's really, really nice and really cool. I personally am rocking the carbon fiber finish. It looks really, really great. I have the cutout from the Dimple Motorola Backwing logo, as well as the full Nexus, which just looks really great. I was about to get just the X only, but I'm glad I chose this option. This is definitely a head turner. I think whether or not they're turning their heads looking at the size of the phone I have in my hand or just the way it looks, it's definitely an eye pleaser, I think, personally. Now on the bottom, we have the Spigen, the CruzerLite, and the Ringke Slim. The Neo Hypbrid, I think, is one of my least favorites personally, and I will go over that in just a minute. Let me put the case on the phone here. It's very easy to snap into place. You know, you should drop it down on the bottom and then push it up and snap it up in the two places here, but it's really easy to put in regardless of how you do it. The only downside is sometimes you have to fiddle with the top here because this soft back kind of puts a little crease in there, so you do have to play with it a little bit if you want it to get perfect. It's a really great case overall. If you're looking for something that's going to offer some durability from drops, this is definitely one of the better choices. It's roughly $18 shipped from Amazon if you have a Prime account. Through their website, it is a lot more. I think it's roughly almost $30. As you can see right there, it's a little tight. I didn't put it on perfectly, but it gets in place. Now, that is kind of the downside, I think, personally. It does fit a little too tight as it is right now. I think they need to do a revision and make a newer model. I think they just overlooked some things. Maybe they had an older model Nexus when they made the case, because it is really tight. There is a little bit of bowing around the edges, at least on my unit that I received. Now, they say that, you know, these are metal, or they advertise metal buttons, but, you know, they're obviously not metal. They are plastic. And they do tend to get in the way for me personally. I'd notice that sometimes I'm just randomly clicking them when I'm trying to hold the device, whereas I don't experience that with other cases, or just holding the phone naked. So that is something that could be a deal breaker for you. They do protrude pretty decently. You know, they come out pretty far, not too crazy, but they do get in the way. So that's kind of a con, or just a nitpick really in my regard. The other thing is it's just the cheap plastic around the side. You know, it's nothing great. It does tend to bow a little bit. I mean, you're not going to be pulling at your case, but it does feel kind of cheap. So I mean, for 20 bucks there are better options, I think, personally. That will be up to you to decide, as that is just a nitpick in my case. The cutouts are really good. They're only a little slight bit off. I mean, it's really nothing substantial, but they are just a hair off, so maybe they can fix that in a revision, you know, for the future type deal. And you know, they could do some improvements overall, but it's a really solid case for 20 bucks if you're looking for something that feels good in the hand. It does add a little bit of bulk. It does feel wider on the phone. It makes the phone feel wider, so to speak. So I mean, that's another kind of nitpick from me. I personally don't like it to be too bulky, so it does add a little bit more in that regard. But the cutouts are really good. Everything's there. They got the microphone cutout, USB, micro USB, the dimple, the camera, and the headphone jack. It's a pretty solid case. Just not one that I like personally. And it does come apart. It does have a soft touch back. The back is actually really nice. I'm just not a big fan of this frame, the plasticky frame and the buttons. Just, you know, overall, it's not one that I'm going to be personally using the most, but it is a nice case. Now we have the CruzerLite. This is the smoke color. It is a little bit translucent, transparent. So you will see the backing of your Nexus 6 with it. It's very easy to pop on. It does have cutouts for your power button and volume rockers, and it feels great. You can still hear the clicking and all that. It feels great. It's not going to get in the way. You're not going to accidentally push them when you're holding it. It's got the little lip here on the edge, so you can hold it very well. And it does have really good grip. You're not going to drop this when you're holding it, unless you just forget you're holding your phone or being stupid or you're drunk. I mean, really. The cutouts are a little bit wide and off. They're not perfect, but it's a $10 case, and it's doing its job. It's not interfering with anything. You can still see the logo. You can still get full use of the camera. And it does have a cutout for your microphone. And it does have your cutout for the micro USB and headphone as usual. Everything else is covered. Feels great, looks great, has the edging so you can put it face down without scratching your screen. That's always a plus. You get that same thing here, I forgot to mention that. But it's very easy to take off and just throw on something else. This one's a little bit harder to put on, but still pretty easy. Now I did save the Ringke white for last because this thing is extremely difficult to take off. I actually have to use a guitar pick to take it off of my phone. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you are somebody that changes cases constantly on the fly or daily, this might be a kind of a deal breaker because this thing is extremely difficult to get off. You have to use a credit card or a guitar pick or your fingernail if you don't want to. You might break it actually. The cool thing about it is this is roughly $10, and it is probably one of the slimmest cases you can buy right now. And it does come with a screen protector that fits perfectly on the phone. I already checked that, so you can't beat that. Comes with a screen protector. I mean, most of these cost roughly $4 to $10 themselves from multi-packs, so that coming with it is a big plus. It does not have the Motorola logo dimple cutout, but it does have a dimple, so that's a cool feature. But if you want to see your Motorola logo, you're not going to be able to do that with this case, so that might be a deal breaker for you. But it's also cool because it doesn't really have a dimple back here, yet it still has it here. So there's a little thickness to the case itself on the back, but it's very slim. And it does fit perfectly. I mean, it just snaps right in there. Not difficult at all to put on. However, taking it off is a different story. It does have branding, but it's not flashy. It's very subtle. And it does have the microphone cutout on the bottom, your micro USB cutout, and the headphone jack. And everything is cut out perfect. I mean, this is pretty precision, pretty precise. The camera is cut out almost perfectly. They have these nice little cuts on the side to obviously put it on without breaking the case, since it is plastic. There is no grip to it. I mean, you know, other than the plastic feel, touch, whatever. But there is no grip, so that is something you will have to take into account. But the really cool thing about this is, I don't think it really matters which color you get either, is you could probably lightly sand this if you wanted to with a fine grit sandpaper, and you could probably just repaint this any color you want. So if this white gets pretty messy over time from using it, you know, gets a bunch of stains on it and what have you, you could probably just wipe this down, sand it, wipe it off, and then spray paint it with a pretty decent color, and it will look pretty much any way you want it to with spray paint colors. You know, you can choose almost an unlimited amount, obviously, and paint it yourself, so that's always a plus as well. But it just looks great, it feels great, and it keeps a very thin profile. So if that's something you're looking for, I definitely recommend this, because it's also not like other thin profile cases where they only cover the sides and they leave the bottom and top exposed. I personally don't like that. That's a deal breaker for me, because when you buy a case, you want to cover the phone. That's the whole point. So if they leave a certain part open, it kind of defeats the point of a case in general, unless you're just protecting the back, of course. But this is a really solid case for $10 with a screen protector, and the cutouts are phenomenal. And it does have a lip around the edge. Nothing major. In fact, it's not sharp, it's smooth, it feels good. It's not going to be a problem. It feels great in the hand. They keep the form factor almost identical, which is really nice as well. All the way around, it keeps that form factor of the Nexus 6 and Motorola design, Moto X design enlarged. I mean, it's a really great feeling case. $10 shipped from Amazon Prime. So yeah, those are the cases that you can get. I mean, there's obviously more options, but they're not available currently. I mean, it's not going to be until about December when those come out. But those are some of my top picks for sure. Check them out and see which ones you like. Hope this video helped you, and look forward to making more videos in the future. Peace.